go.
The pet food company Monge is increasingly investing in including components considered superfood in both dry and wet food formulation for our pets. Superfood are ingredients that are particularly rich in specific nutrients, such as omega-3, plant fibers, and antioxidants. Superfood which are rich in essential fatty acid include salmon oil and flax seeds. Salmon oil is rich in EPA and DHA with multiple metabolic properties. In fact, they can be directly assimilated by the animal's organism through the phospholipid membranes that make up the skin, promoting a shiny and soft coat. Flax seeds, on the other hand, are rich in alpha-linolenic acid from which the animal can obtain omega-3, EPA, and DHA, again supporting the integrity of the skin. Superfood, which are sources of plant fibers, include pumpkin and oats. Pumpkin is a vegetable that is rich in soluble and insoluble fiber, promoting intestinal regularity, and thanks to its orange pigmentation, is rich with high amounts of beta-carotene, while oats, one of the cereals richest in proteins, up to 17%, fibers and fat, also contain a high amount of potassium and B vitamins to support the immune system. Superfoods that are rich in antioxidants include ginseng, blueberry, and spirulina. The antioxidant effect carried out by this food is particularly important in counteracting the negative effect of the free radicals on the organism of the animals. Ginseng is a root that is rich in vitamins and polysaccharides such as paraxan, which are considered useful nutrients for the daily vitality. Blueberry are berries which are particularly rich in anthocyanidins, powerful antioxidants that support the immune system. Spirulina is rich in carotene, vitamins B12, antioxidant pigments, omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid. In addition, its proteins are of high biological value, containing all of the essential amino acids for our animals.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talking Dogs with Ante. I'm your host, Ante Lucin. We had a wonderful interview last Wednesday with the Almanza team, and as I have promised to you, in January, I'm bringing you people who have left already, and obviously the road is not finished yet, but who have left already a huge mark in the dog world. Firstly, as breeders. Obviously, some of them are also judges, like my guest tonight, but we have, let's say, a month of master breeders, and I think that my guest tonight, together with his wife, who bred till now already over 600 champions in different breeds, certainly comes in the category of master breeders. What I need to say to you, first of all, you know that this interview tonight is sponsored by Monge. We were supposed to have a quiz tonight and a giveaway, but unfortunately, because of some small problem with Italian bureaucracy and quizzes and something, we had to cancel it. So it's cancelled for this Wednesday, but it's going to come back next month for sure. I'm making all of you happy Wednesday after Wednesday with bringing you amazing guests. So there is also a way that you who are watching this make me happy. As you know, I'm just asking you to make a small click of your screen anytime during the interview and post it in your Instagram story and tag me in it so I can share it later and we can get more people watching. And it's always more fun when we see later on how many people are watching. Not to make my guest too nervous, because he's already a little bit nervous. I must say that I have never seen something like this. My guest is still not on the screen. We have already over 200 people watching and 70 comments, even before him opening his mouth. So obviously I will not be able to read most of it, but I'm very thankful that so many of you are watching and leaving the comments. Keep them coming. And if you have any questions for my guest, please write it here. And also I want to say that I had people who were writing to Monja distributors already from Russia. They were asking, please, if we could record this video, because they are going to translate it in Russian and put Russian subtitles and share it later on. So I appreciate also that. And I'm sure that my guest tonight, Francesco Cochetti from Italy, will appreciate your very big support that he has tonight. Good evening, Francesco. How are you?
Good evening to everybody. I'm fine. Thank you. And thank you for this nice invitation. It's really nice to be here with you this night.
It is our pleasure, obviously, and an honor to have you in the show. As I said to you already, you must be a very popular person, because with 85 comments before opening your mouth, I think it says quite a lot. I will just, as usual, and this is really what I always say, amazing thing about Talking Dogs with Dante. There are people, but really from all over the world watching. I have already lost half of the comments, because 87 in the first 10 minutes, it's not something that we see very often. But I can say that there are people watching: Peter from Sweden, Bruce from South Africa, Taliafe from Tel Aviv, Jurica from Croatia, Sergio from Italy, Andrew Brace, obviously sending greetings from a very rainy UK, Gergely Balog, Benjamin Sanchez, Diane from Norway, Nina from Sweden, Ilona from Austria, Brinia from Colombia, Marta from Spain. People absolutely from all over the world watching, and a lot of people obviously who are your friends, Francesco, or who have dogs from you, colleague judges, many important people watching. But I hope that after the interview you will have some time in peace and watch it again and read all the comments, because obviously with already 100 of them I will not be able to read most of them. But I can, for the start of the interview, read one comment or one question from Andrew Brace for you, and he says, how come when everyone how come when everyone else has put on weight during lockdown, Francesco is looking so slim? This isn't fair. Tell us the secret.
Well, it was no, but I started my diet before the lockdown, and of course, I have tried really very hard to continuing it to finish it. So it was not an easy task, but I succeeded, and I lost weight.
Yes,
Yes.
it looks good on you. Well, my first question for you, Francesco, is about the present situation, and most of the people who are following you on Facebook know that you are very active on Facebook, and I know that you, like myself and like many others, in the beginning of the pandemic, you were writing. Stay home, health is the most important, blah blah blah. But then we all came to this point when we
Exactly.
need to come to your post from few days ago, which had a lot of response when you said enough is enough. I miss dog shows. I miss my friends. I miss to judge dogs. And let's connect on this. Zafra Sirik is writing to you. Thank you for the encouraging posts you put in Facebook along the rough times of the pandemic crisis. You put things into common sense and optimism. Tell me, Francesco, when was your last dog show? How do you feel at the moment? And what are you hoping is going to be your first dog show in 2021?
Well, I have to be honest. Of course, my last dog show I was lucky because we had a dog show here in Italy, in Orvieto, and it was in the beginning of October. So I had luck to judge there, and I think my last before the pandemic was in February in Estonia. Then I had a long stop until August, where I judged in Hungary, and then I did again Estonia, and then I was in Switzerland, and then I did Orvieto. Well,
So more than many others, you are lucky.
yes, but what I have to say is true what you said. In the beginning, it was kind of okay. I think nobody thought that. Okay, many said that it will be not short, but we all hope that it could be short. So I was like the one that I will use this time to wash my brain and to try to be better than I was before. And I used this time to stay at home with my family. But yes, nowadays I'm coming crazy. I have to say that this is really the truth. And
Because of the family or in general?
well, yes, it is. I'm not so used to be at home, and I think okay, it is nice, but enough is
Too
enough.
much.
Yes, enough is enough. So let's hope that I don't know. I think I'm hoping what I have some appointment, but okay. I had in January Sofia. It has been cancelled. I should have go to Pakistan. Of course, I can go, but let's hope that in the spring we will be able to
To move.
judge somewhere. I think more in the open shows because
Yes.
indoor shows I think are really difficult with this
Yes.
situation and with the rules that even we have here in Italy. So it is almost impossible.
And how is at the moment in Italy? Is still everything in lockdown or?
Well, we have a kind of colors in each region. So they like now to paint. So we are now in orange, which means that we are not able to go out of our little town. And is yellow, and then is also red. Red is the strict lockdown. And I don't know. Really, for me, okay, I'm not so sure that this this is working so well, but okay, we have to obey two rules.
Yes.
So we do
Yes.
any different.
Okay, my last question on this subject: when it's going to be available, are you going to vaccinate yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Because
Sports. Yes.
okay. Let's go now, Francesco, to what interests most of our viewers, and really, if we are going to break some records tonight, for sure we are going to break the record of comments, because we have 125 comments already, and obviously I cannot follow all of them, but I'm grateful to all of you that you are watching. Is as I said in the beginning, make me also happy, and make a photo of the screen that you are watching it and put it on your Instagram story, tag me there, so we can share it later on to many people more to come and watch the interviews. I want to ask you, Francesco, first of all, about your childhood. I know that your parents were poodle breeders, so you are a second generation of dog breeders. I know your father was also a judge. Tell me a little bit about the story of your parents and dogs, and you growing into the family of breeders.
Yeah, okay. Dogs have been always part of my life. I really don't remember any single moment without any dog. My father was had English cockers, and my mother had poodles. But she was so clever, and she was very good to push him and to decide to breed poodles together. So at that time, they started with their own prefix, della perla grigia, which means silver pearl, because they were concentrated in breeding silver poodles. And so they started to import from England poodles. At that moment, it was Merrimorn, a kennel that they imported the first silver, and then later they imported apricot and black from Tio Pepe kennel, Claire and Dennis Coxall. And so it was like that. They bred Saxe poodles. Of course, in that time, they were not going so much abroad like we go to nowadays. It was much more easy and much more difficult. And but they did a good job. So that it was my life. I was born with dogs since ever.
Since ever, yes. Let me just ask one question, because I will lose it later. Ingrid Hackett Meyer is asking you, who is the smooth coated picture of behind you? The
This
Chihuahua.
is Orlando Furioso. Yes.
Okay. Looks pretty. Okay, so we have answered also to Ingrid. I want to ask you now, because obviously I know you for a long time, but I must say that when I have read carefully your CV, there have been some things that have surprised also me. One of these things is that the first dog actually that you wanted to have was the boxer. And unfortunately, you didn't succeed to push your parents to get the boxer. But your own first dog, was a Boston Terrier. Tell us that story.
It was because, of course, we were close friend with the boxer breeder. It was degli Etruschi Kennel. They are still breeding, a second generation of them. And so I was often visiting them with my parents, and I was really in love with the breed. So I tried to push them to have a boxer. And my dream was to have a fawn beach, but I didn't succeed. But they were also breeding Boston Terrier. So I remember that my father said, now you stop. If you want something, then you can have a Boston Terrier. And okay, I was not so happy, but I said, okay, let take
Better something than nothing.
let's take a Boston Terrier. So it was a Boston Terrier, but really Boxer was my dream dog.
Yeah. But it is actually amazing that you have at the end, or let's say now, ended with small breeds. But when you were young, you always wanted to have big dogs.
Exactly.
Another dream of yours was to buy a standard apricot poodle, but you didn't
Yeah.
succeed in this also. But you got a medium one, so they have always been putting your wishes a little bit smaller. Okay, so tell us the story about the first medium apricot that you have bought for yourself, or you got it.
It was a medium black. In one of our visiting to Claire and Dennis Coxall, Claire, I was really, I think, 12 or 13, not more, or maybe 14. Okay, Claire was showing us her breeding, and okay, I saw a standard apricot, and then I started really to push them, my father and mother, to have a standard poodle. But I remember, my father was also very old school, so I have to say honest that he started to count it on the standard poodle, and he said, she miss some premolars. Yeah, some premolars. So no way. And I think, okay, probably it was an excuse. And then, but they say I was really almost crying because, okay, I think already Claire Coxall said that she could have shown this standard poodle to us before to go. So then she said, okay, but I can show to you a medium black bitch. And and then okay, I remember my father checked the bite and said to me, okay, if you want her, you can have her. So I got my first poodle, and it was called Tiopepi Jamila. And then okay, she has never been bred because it was not easy also to find at that time really good males in Italy. But she has been shown. She became champion. She was really a nice bitch with a super pedigree. Her father was Tiopepi Typhoon, who was a really very good stud and very important dog from Tiopepi Kennel.
Okay, so that's more or less your start with the Bostons and with the poodles. Before I ask you my next question, I'm going to read just one comment, and that was from Lynn Hege, because I think many of the people. Okay, do you hear me now?
Oh yes.
Okay. I will read you just a comment from Lynn Hege, because I think this is something that something that we all think, and she writes, really miss friends and dog shows, so this is really nice to finally feel involved with dog people again. Thank you to all involved for making this happen. As I said many times, it is, I must say that maybe the most amazing thing of these interviews that we do is connecting all of us dog people once a week, and in a way pretending that we are somewhere all together and trying to have a nice time and talk about dogs, which we obviously all love. What I want to ask you next, Francesco, is you registered your kennel name in 1984. The kennel name is di San Gimignano. First, what I want to ask you is where did the name come from? And second, what I want to ask you, how come that you didn't continue with the kennel name of your parents?
Well, because when I took the kennel name, my parents were still alive. And of course, it was something that I wanted for myself. And this Di San Gimignano, why Di San Gimignano? It is because my partner in the prefix born from in San Gimignano, and San Gimignano is a really beautiful town medieval town in Tuscany. And it was, when you ask to the FCI for the kennel name, you have to write 3 names, and this Di San Gimignano was the third name, and so it was because we put as a third name the city where she was born. And yes, but it was because, okay, my parents, they were still breeding poodles, and I wanted to start something for myself. So this is why I got my own prefix.
What I want to say is that what obviously many people I suppose connect you with poodles, because not only because your parents had poodles, but because you still have, I suppose, some poodles, or recently you had some poodles. But the start of the San Gimignano kennel with your friend Sandra was with poodles, but also with Dobermans and with Boston Terriers.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this start, about 80s.
It was exactly like this. She was really breeding a very nice Doberman, but of course without any prefix. And okay, we were really very close friend, and we were living even in the same place. I mean, very close each other. So it was in a dinner one night. We were just talking about why we don't take the kennel name, the prefix together. And so it will be nice to breed 2 different breeds. Then came also Boston Terrier, because she liked Boston Terrier too. So she was breeding at her place Doberman. I was breeding in my place poodles at that time. And then she wanted this Boston Terrier, so she bought a couple of females, and then we had a couple of litters of Boston Terrier during that time, and a few liters of Doberman. But Doberman, she was doing very well. She had a beautiful brown Doberman that was really winning a lot. And so it was, it was
nice.
interesting. This is why, of course, then it is easy for me, for example, to judge Doberman. And I'm not, as you know, I'm not really a judge that come from group 2, but Doberman, it's like, and if really, I remember my dear friend Carlos Renau was always saying, because he was involved with if you look at the proportion between these 2 breeds, they are quite similar, and in a way it's true.
Yes, I don't know, we have lost you a little bit because of the connection. Javier, did you also lose it? Can you just repeat this after you say that Carlos Renau was saying, because we lost it because of the connection?
He was always saying, because he had Doberman and then he had poodles, that there was many things in common in these 2 breeds, like for example proportions, more or less the same proportion of head and proportion of body. And I have to say that it was right when he said it is easy to judge a poodle. If you see a Doberman, you should think, he said all the time to me, it was very easy to me to judge these 2 breeds and to do because
comparison.
Yeah, a comparison, because they are really in many things so similar. It looks strange, but it is like that.
Yeah. Tell me, Francesco, today, obviously, and you will see it by all the comments that are coming, you are the most famous for your Chihuahuas. But as we heard now a little bit from the past, the Chihuahuas were not obviously your first choice. You got married into Chihuahuas. So tell me. Tell
Yeah.
me, in 1996, when you married to Tula, how much did the marriage change your life and your destiny as a breeder?
Well, I have to be honest that because I met Tula through another friend that I was really visiting often. And so he was a breeder of Chihuahuas, but I never really liked so much the breed. I was always saying they are like rats, so small. Yes. And even I remember I got the right to judge the Chihuahuas, but I didn't really feel them. For me, really, you said that I wanted probably since in the beginning, I wanted the big dogs because I was for boxer. Then I wanted the standard poodle. So Chihuahua, it was really the extreme. But it was that okay. Then through this friend and through Carlos Renau, that was that went to Finland to meet Tina, and then he had a kind of love story with this guy. So this guy asked to Tina to introduce some Chihuahua breeder. And then, of course, Tina took Guido, the name of this guy, and Carlos to Tula's house. And then, okay, he bought a dog from Tula, then he invited Tula here in Italy. So it was in this way that we met because I was invited in Rome when Tula was was there from Finland. I remember Guido said to me, "Please come because I have a Finnish girl, and so maybe you can go out a bit with her and show something about Rome and blah blah blah." And of course, okay, then it was the start. And I remember Tula was in the beginning moving a bit between Finland and Italy. So I started to be alone with the Chihuahua. And okay, I really was starting to love them. The Chihuahua is the most sensitive breed you can find in this world. I have had, because I love many breeds. I could have many different breeds at home. Really, for me, doesn't matter which, but I like many breeds. And then I start to be in touch with them, and I had this beautiful feeling. And this is was how it started my story with Chihuahuas and my love with them. And I remember Tula was out, and one female was in season, and she said to me, "You go to mate this beach in the north of Italy." And I went, and she said, "If you do that, I will let you have your first litter of Chihuahuas." And it was like that. And in this first litter born Stardust di San Gimignano, who was award winner. So I was very
Okay.
first litter I bred myself, and then I got award winner.
That's a nice story. That's a nice story. Anyhow, Francesco, definitely I want to talk a little bit more with you about few breeds, including obviously Chihuahuas. But let's touch just quickly four breeds that you write in your CV that you have owned. You obviously that you didn't breed from, but you had them, and you mentioned Pomeranians, Tibetan Spaniels, Australian Shepherds, and Lagotos. Tell
Yes.
us just quickly about these four breeds. How did you get in touch with them?
It was okay. Tibetan Spaniel, it was because here in south of Europe, we don't have many Tibetan Spaniel. And when I started to go to Scandinavian because of Tula, and then I started also to judge quite often there, I saw rings with this beautiful breed with really quantity. And I think also Tula really like the breed. So we decided to import a bitch from Sweden. That was for a Tibetan Spaniel. For Boston for
Australian Shepherd.
Shepherd. It was kind of another beautiful breed that was really starting to be to see in Italy, and we still have in Italy some nice kennel, and it was you know that Richard Hellman was asking to us to have a Chihuahua for his partner, and then he said. How much? I said, why no? But it could be nice to do an exchange with one of it. He had an Australian Shepherd litter, so we did an exchange. He got a Chihuahua from us, and we got an Australian bitch from him. And then the Lagotte, it was Tula's idea, because she started, Lagotto in a way has a lot of common things with Poodle, but she started really to like this kind of hunting attitude that they have to find the truffle. And Tula started to do some courses, and then we bought a female from Granaio della Malatesta, which is a kennel here in Italy. And this was of course the story of with Lagotto.
And we have Pomeranians.
Pomerania also was many years ago. I still love a lot the breed, and we were both in love with the breed, so we imported the male from America. But then it was in ownership with a friend of Tula from Finland, and so we kept him a little bit here with us, and then he went to Finland.
So, but you were never thinking to breed any of these 4 breeds, no?
No, they have. We never bred Tibetan. We never bred the Lagotto, but Lagotto is still young, so she's not even 2 years. So maybe one day we will breed her. And then Pom was a male, and the Australian Shepherd never bred.
Okay. Before I continue with my questions, I will read for you just 2 comments. First one is from Maria Luisa Doppelreiter, who is saying, great evening, super to listen to Francesco Cochetti and his stories, almost as if we were having judges dinner together. I hope dog shows will soon be starting again. Yes, we all hope. And then another thing is, maybe you can tell us a little bit about this. Andrew Brace is writing, a very interesting story is the letter that Tula wrote to Bill and Sylvia Stevenson, Chihuahua breeders in the UK, when she was a teenager, and where that letter ended up.
Yes, unbelievable. Andrew is really well. Andrew, I have, this kind of admiration for him, because he's really a true dog person. We must say that. I want to say it in public. He's a true dog person, and this is always interesting to listen to him during the judging dinner, because he has a lot of dog culture. The letter came up, it was that I was invited to judge to the Chihuahua National in Australia, and then it was that we were a guest to Bill Stevenson and his new wife, and we were seated there to dinner. And I remember very well, Bill went in the kitchen, then came back, and then said, now I want to read something. And then, without saying what, then started to read this letter, and I see Tula was really crying. And then Tula said, how you can have this letter? I was 15 or 16 when I wrote this letter. And he said, of course, I have this letter with me. I keep everything. And it was for us really so nice to see the passion in a so young girl like you were. So it was a really emotional moment, I have to say that, and beautiful.
That's absolutely that's a very nice story. We all remember, even my first letters that I was sending to Carlos Renau when I decided to buy a schnauzer, my first schnauzer, and Carlos said I have a litter at home from a friend of mine, and I remember writing all these long letters to Carlos saying I want a dog like this and like that. So it is more. Um, we don't think about that nowadays with all these emails and messengers and everything is done in 1 second. But this time of the writing letters, I think it was a very nice time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
We miss you. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It was in a way you could not get the things instantly like today. But okay, it is new modern times. I want to ask you, Francesco. Also, in the beginning, you were breeding also papillons.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your journey with papillons.
Papillons also was the breed that Tula had in Finland. So when she moved to Italy, she took with her, I think 6, 7 Chihuahua and then 4 or 5 papillons. And so we continued with Papillon for some years, I think. But then, okay, we decided to be much more concentrated on Chihuahuas, also because it was at that time Sarah and Sophia were just born, and it was really much more heavy to be after children and after dogs. So, but yes, Tula, I think, has bred quite many champions in papillons, but then okay, it was not a long time we bred papillons.
Yeah. And how did the Jack Russells come to the family?
Well, it was because when I started to study Group 3, I really came in love fall in love with this group, and I started. I started to say to Tula I want a terrier, and my first idea was a Scottish terrier. But then I was talking with Dan Erickson and said, but you must be careful because they are not easy in temperament with Chihuahua and blah, 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 blah. And then I was very close to Marina Guidetti, who has been also my mentor in terriers. And then Marina said, why you don't go for a Jack Russell, especially this Australian bloodline? They are quite nice and quite lovely dogs. They are not big fighters. So if you really want a terrier, so we started with Jack Russell. We went to Australia. It was the year that I was judging the Chihuahua National, and we started to go around a bit of some kennels. But then it was Tina had a litter in Finland bred by Javier Sanchez, and it was our first beach came from there. It was totally Myrmidon bloodline, which is a very good, one of the best bloodlines in the past we had in Jack Russell. So we bought a female, and then that was the reason we started with Jack Russell. Then we bought a couple of dogs from Czech Republic, from another good kennel, and we have bred Jack Russell for I think 10 years. Yes.
And you still have some at home?
Well, we have only one female that is really old, and one we have in breeding terms is living with a friend of us, and of course we can get a litter. So probably we will have one more litter of Jack Russell, but at the moment we have only one female that is 12 years, and she's the dog of Sophia. So I hope she will live really long because she's her dog.
Yeah. I want to ask you, Francesco, about the Jack Russells. It is one of these breeds that when you watch them in the ring, nowadays they get really, really big entries, but there is a lot of difference in type when you
Yeah.
watch them. What do you think that at the moment is the biggest problem of the breed in general?
Yeah, well, there are really, as you said, so many different types, and we start to say something that I call mini parts on Russell, because Jack Russell is not really is not square like it is the parts on Russell Terrier, and we are trying to have Jack Russell more and more square, and some are big in size. And then it is also this fashion of trimming them like fox terrier, and so they have their own specific look, but people like to do a little bit too much. So it is, and then of course you know that you have to be able to put your hands on the chest, but many are really over chested, so strong, so heavy in front. But I have to say, for example, Italy has for sure a really nice quality in the breed, and you can find some nice dogs around. It's pity because for me the country of the origin of this breed was Australia, but then they lost something comparing when I watched the first time. It was probably almost 20 years ago or 17 years ago. They had really beautiful specimens there, but nowadays, then they have sold a lot. Nowadays, the quality is a little bit mixed, but in some country we see really nice Jack Russells.
Yeah, it's definitely one of.
Is a breed that can really be with in family. They are very sweet. They are strong in temperament, but it's not really like a fox or a Scottish. They are not really big fighters, and so it's a really a nice breed to have at home.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
children, for me, is one of the best breeds to have. They are not too big, they are sweet, they have their character, so it's
Yeah,
for
and they are very cute. They
yes,
are very cute. Yes.
exactly.
Okay, before I continue, let me just say Sandra Beats is writing great breeder in many breeds. Thank you for the wisdom and a lot of knowledge in breeding to share with us. Then I think, which is always very nice to hear, is saying very interesting and glad to listen to Mr. Cochetti from Ramon Podesta from Chile.
Say hello, Ramon.
And then
He's a great breeder. He is
absolutely. Absolutely. I had already, for all of you who didn't maybe see it, I had Ramon as my guest a few months ago, and this video is available on Best in Show Magazine's Facebook page, and it was absolutely amazing because Ramon is also definitely one of the best breeders in the world in many different breeds. We have also a comment from James Mason saying, amazing to hear your stories. My partner and myself are really enjoying the live event, missing the shows, judges, and all. Thank you for your time, Ante and Francesco. Lovely evening. And Ingram is saying, Australia used to have wonderful Jack Russells, group winning quality. And Bjorn Hellstrom is saying, we are looking forward to have you as a judge at the Swedish Chihuahua specialty in June. If we can do it, it will be crazy entrance. I think we are going crazy up here. No shows since January 2020.
Yeah, I know.
So yes, and Gerda is writing, as for writing letters to breeders, I did so back in 1989 to many Briard breeders with photos of my German Shepherds, many environment, and also adding kind of a CV about my animals from childhood on, and the ones from my parents since after the World War II. Yes, many people were used to writing these letters, and that was the fashion. Anna Sabo is also watching, saying wonderful to hear you, Francesco. Nick Shalemo is also watching, saying love to hear Francesco. Forza Italia. So a lot of your friends are watching. Robert Bala is writing, it's nice to listen to this.
Stupidities. So I really
no.
You know.
Robert Bala is saying it's nice to listen to those stories of Francesco, the judge, the breeder, the mentor who is always there for you and who teaches you with his every post. So a lot of people, Francesco, more than 250 people are watching, and we have almost 200 comments already. I'm sure you will be happy to read it all. But let's continue now with the questions. I want to go back just quickly on the poodles. Because this is the breed, obviously, that you love a lot and that you judge a lot. How do you compare the poodles at that time when your parents were breeding them and starting with them and the poodles of today? Did the breed change a lot? Is it better now, or is it going in a bad direction?
No. I think I think the breed has improved. Especially also because, of course, we nowadays there is much better grooming, and it is out nowadays the real characteristic of this breed, which is elegance and courage. So they, with the good grooming, they really, you can show these important parts of the breed. If you talk about poodle, then you have to say the essence of the breed is courage. How they courage. This is really, the poodle courage is unique in
yes.
In our dog world. So they have this kind of attitude that not other breeds have. So I think the breed has improved. Absolutely.
Okay. There is an interesting question just quickly from Lindsay Marshall. She's asking, did he ever get his boxer? Did you ever get the boxer at the end?
Unfortunately not, but you never know. Maybe one day I will get one.
Now is the time when Tula is going to throw things on you.
Yeah, but because also in my kennel club there is the vice president, which is a good box breeder, and so if I will get one, I will get one from this kennel, the Centurioni, which is a good kennel. But okay, it will be not easy to deal with my family because okay, but let's see. You never.
Let's see. Okay, Dusan Paunovic is writing me a comment saying, Ante, don't ignore me. So I suppose, Dusan, you have write a question somewhere, but I have missed it. So please, if you can just write it again, because there are far too many comments that are coming and I'm not able to read them all. And then let me read you just a comment from Roberta Semenzato, who is saying, I think as Italians, we must be proud to have a judge and breeder as Francesco. He's the proof the judges that are still active in breeding have that something extra. He's also a very kind person, a gentleman, very nice to sit and watch at ringside when he is judging. So
thank you very much.
Okay, I want now to touch a little bit the subject of the family, because you mentioned family often. I know that Sophia has gone in the direction mostly of horses, but Sarah has stayed very loyal to the dogs. And because of Sarah, you have a big dog at home now, and these are the pointers. Do you also like the breed, or it was really Sarah's wish?
I love the breed a lot, really a lot. And okay, because first time I went to Finland, Tula was already breeding setter and pointers. And I remember it was a big litter of pointers there, but I really loved the breed. But then it was some years ago that Sarah did like I did. She started to say that she wanted something for herself. And I think she was examining a couple of breeds. If I remember right, it was a Weimaraner and pointers. and then it was this on this on this, and then she went for pointers. But what she was demanding, it was because also she was going around the internet, studying pedigrees, looking at kennels, and then she said, "Okay, I have decided. I already wrote to the breeder in to Chester Hope in New Zealand. So our first, it was okay. It was a so expensive trip, and but okay, I really, and then I started to go in contact with the breed. They are fantastic, really, my friends that you are listening. I'm a toy dog person, but hunting dogs you should have in your life because they are so special, and really Pointer took a big part of my heart too. So let's see. It is, of course, it is not so easy because they need space, they need exercise. So they like really to walk, and that is, we are sometimes a bit lazy, but it is a fabulous breed.
I want to ask you, when talking about the pointers, we all know that pointers in Italy are very much of a head breed, and that the heads in Italy are very much different than the heads, let's say, in the UK, Australia, New Zealand. How different is to have this type of pointers in Italy?
Well, Ante, this is a difficult question, but so maybe some Italians will hate me. But I would like to say that we should remember that the breed is English and not Italian breed. So we have to follow the standard that has been written by English. And when we read the standard and we talk about head, the head that standard describe is not so extreme like we have here in Italy. Okay, I think Italians also has a very nice, very good head. I like, okay, this kind of really refined head, but I think probably in the last time we were too much as Italians focused in heads, and we have lost a little bit of the other of the body and the construction. But what I think we should have a kind of type that is just in the middle. So this is what I would like to see. Uh, it is not so easy. Also, I think to breed good pointers, but around I have seen something good. I think for sure England has great quality, and this America some nice kennels, and Australia I think has also, and then this lady from New Zealand has done a really great job, even exporting to England, and really even there the dogs are winning a lot. Okay, in Italy we have nowadays, I think most of the people realize that we have to correct a little bit, so we are going in a better direction. So I hope that in some years we will establish also the breed here in Italy and having a little bit different type.
Yeah. Claudio De Giuliani is writing to you. Francesco is a breeder with open mind. After so few years, he won't touch it with his his bred dog. In Italy, it is not easy to do this.
Yeah, it was, yes, it was Sarah Mail, and he won, no, it was Sarah Beach, and yes, it was amazing. And I remember Claudio wrote to me and said to me, did you realize what does it mean to win a cassette? I said, yes, Claudio. It has much more value than cassette and what other things. And so I really understood how, because okay, we know breed fit for function, so it is correct. If you What is the goal in the breed, like hunting breeds, is to get beauty and also working, and so to have a beautiful dog that is also working very well.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
it
yeah,
is
I want to ask you my last question about the pointers, because you said it was Sarah's wish,
Yeah,
and it is Sarah's breed. So does she make the decision by herself
yeah.
about breeding and buying, or she still asks you and Tula about the opinion?
No, she's really, is sorry to say, okay.
You will be sorry, I think.
It's a bad word. It's a pain in the ass when she's really pushing, and sometimes, because now we mated one female, and it was really very difficult because it was the COVID time, so it was not easy really to find a male. And okay, so we have used a mail. We have used a mail from England, but really no, she's very strong in, and sometimes also we. Okay, of course she knows. She understands for me the breed well, and she has her opinion. But sometimes she open her mouth often. Also with chihuahuas she do so.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, but Sarah is like that. She has in a way I love it because it is like I did the same with my parents. So I
Yes,
see
but
her.
you didn't succeed, but she succeeded.
Yeah, yes, she succeeded because she's much more stronger than me when she wants something, and then my daughters are much, new generation is much more spoiled than older generation, I think.
Yes,
So.
that's true. Okay, that was all about the pointers. I will just ask you two quick questions from the viewers. Maria Luisa Doppelreiter is asking you, do you have a hunting license?
No, I don't.
No, no.
I really, I have to be honest. I'm not a hunting person, but okay, I like to see. I'm not against hunting, of course, but it's not. I okay. Claudio sometimes say to me, "Let's go to a friend of us to have a kind of day with hunting," and I always say yes. I would like to go, but it's probably because I have never been so much involved. So maybe if I go, if I like, maybe I
One
can
day, yeah,
out it one day. But okay,
yeah.
I
And
think.
Matthew Oddy is asking you, what is the best pointer you have ever seen or judged?
Well, I think this mail that we have used now for our beach. I really like it, and is a male bred in New Zealand. I don't remember the pedigree name. It's a Chesterope male. Uh, but I have seen some nice pointers in New Zealand when I was there to judge also, and of course I have seen some nice pointers at crafts. I think in England there are there are really some nice dogs still
Yes,
they always
yeah,
have I think really the country of the pointer is England, no question about it. Then you can find some really good breeder in some other countries, but quality and quantity you find in England.
yes. Anyhow, Joe Bellis is being funny, and he says we would like to see Sarah in the live answering to her father. So I'm sure that would be.
She tried because she's behind, and
Yes, yeah.
she tried to say to put in my mouth some words,
But
but
it's not succeeded yet.
no.
I'm suggesting because he forgets things.
Okay. Okay. Now, Francesco, let's go to the Chihuahuas.
Yes.
First of all, I want to ask you how come that Tula and you never made one kennel name together, but you left you yours and Tula hers? And how do you decide which litter is going to be Misty Meadows and which one is going to be the San Gimignano?
Well, it's a little bit okay. I think Tula's in her name more dogs than me, but usually there is not really. Uh, uh, it is very how you say casual. It happens like it happens. We try to have part of the dogs under my prefix and part under her prefix. Well, I think because we both had an history before to meet each others, and we both have liked to continuing with our name. So we never thought to have one prefix together. It was like. It is like, I think nowadays that the San Gimignano Misty Meadows is like the same, the same kennel. Even
Yeah.
if we use two kennel names, it's like to have only one. So it is like this.
Okay. Tell me, Francesco, Chihuahuas are a very popular breed today, and you can find really big numbers more or less wherever you go. Obviously, the popularity has its own pluses and minuses. But what would you say in general how the breed looks today? Is it in a good shape? Does it need to be improved? Is it going in a wrong direction? How do you see the Chihuahuas of today?
Ante, I think that in Chihuahua and probably in some other breeds, probably we need to do a step back because I think we went a bit over. So it was like to go to breed the extreme and extreme and extreme, and then when you do that, it is we know when the type is really over, then it's a fault. So I think, okay, of course, we have quantity now, we have still quality, but to be honest, I think probably 10 or 15 years ago, the quality was a little bit better. It is nowadays, if you want to find something new, because of course all of us as a breeders every now and then need to put new blood in your breeding program. It is not easy at all. So we have, as I said, I think we should think all together as a breeders that we need to go back. We need to follow the breed standards, because standards are not changed so much in the like we try to change the breeds.
Yeah.
Especially in some part of our planet, they are so good to change the breed from one day to another day. So it's we should think about it, especially now that we have also a lot of problem with these crazy people that are protesting, and these brachycephal breeds and blah blah blah, and the Chihuahua is also involved. It's now time to think that we need to stop and to be focused more in soundness, and we have not to exaggerate to breed these overdone heads, which are changing totally the expression of the breed.
Yeah. Tell me, Francesco, in your eyes, how would you, in a few words, explain how the perfect Chihuahua should look like? What are the most important features of the breed?
Well, I want to see a sound dog which is compact in body. That doesn't mean square, but it means compact, so close to square but not too square, because it's I want to see rich and ripe, and of course if you have square dogs you don't see this rich and ripe so easily. Then long neck, because we are talking about toy breeds, and I think a neck is kind of elegance and give a nice outline. Remember, we are talking about group 9, and this is for me one part important in this group, to see dogs with elegance and straight top line, high tail set, well carried, good angulation in front and rear, especially what I want to see, and that is, it is not only in Chihuahua, I want to see balance between front and rear, because nowadays in many breeds we lost also balance, so we see straight fronts over angulated rear. This catch your eyes, but it is totally wrong. And if we put faults in the construction, these faults are really very heavy to read off, because head you breed quite easily. In 1 or 2 generations you can correct head, but when you have faults in construction, then it's really dangerous, because yeah. So this is Chihuahua is a normal dog, because I think also as a judges we should start, don't excuse the sides, because somebody say, okay, it's a small dog, it's the smallest dog in the world, so we can excuse if it's not perfect this, is not perfect that. No, we they must be judged like a normal dogs. Many problems nowadays we have with front, so I think
yes, this is what I wanted to ask you as my next question. What do you think that at the moment is the biggest problem of the breed?
the fronts. So you don't find really so easily a good front movement. And problem is front. So I think this is what we can do. So they do like I don't know, I don't know in English the name when they do like this. Probably also because there is not balance harmony in between front and rear angulation. So it's I think the biggest fault that you can see nowadays is in
the front. Yeah. Okay. Before I continue with my questions, let me ask you a few questions from the viewers, because this is obviously an interesting subject for many people. Let me see. Aryun Dutta is asking you, would you kindly say what is the importance of the bite in Chihuahua?
Well, we are talking about toys, so I don't pretend that they must have 42 teeth in their mouth, because as I said, each breed is. We have to think about function of the breed. So Chihuahua, of course, I like to have all incisive if it is possible. I personally think if the quality of the dog is super, and then is missing one incisive, this is not a big fault, even 2, but okay, not less than 6+4, because this is and bite. I think Chihuahua, we know standards say they can be scissor bite or level bite, but most of the time, especially not most of the time, but sometimes you can find that it's a little bit of missing so you can see like a half millimeter of overbite. you can still accept it in a Chihuahua, but the problem is that when they are going with age, so they are really going up with age. This overbite can be more serious.
Yeah.
So, but that is what I have to say about bite. Of course, the breeders, we have to try to breed 6 and 6 and good scissor or level bite. Even for me, I like when they are young and they have this level bite, because it means that then they will really keep this strong underjaw,
Underjaw,
because
yeah.
can be that they are really soft in underjaw, and even sometimes it can change a little bit the expression of the breed.
Yeah. Janusz Oparam is asking you which of the two Chihuahua varieties seems to be stronger type-wise currently, and which of the Chihuahuas breed points are most endangered today?
I think the smooth coat are really a bit more, no, are definitely stronger than the long coat. They are a little bit more close to terriers character, and honestly, I have to say myself, I prefer the smooth, but um, uh, I think then it is so it is also for me very important to be able. Now I'm happy because England has been without us forbidden for many years this cross between these two varieties.
Yeah, because sorry to interrupt you. There is a question from Steve Rooney, and he's saying, how does Francesco feel about the UK returning to crossing the coats?
I'm very happy. Very well done. I think that it was time to do it. Why? Because even gene pool is really not so big. We don't have so big gene pool in any breeds. And even in Chihuahua, I think that is really very important because I also consider England as a country of this breed. So, and I have a lot of respect for many English breeders. So I'm happy that they really open their mind and they are now able also to cross
to do it. Yeah.
these
Yeah.
two varieties.
Can we go back just quickly to Janusz's question? Second question, which was, which of the Chihuahuas breed points are most endangered today?
I said this problem for me, the front and the soundness, because I think many years ago, if you think 20, 30 years ago, we were it was not easy to find good heads. Nowadays, we have some nice heads, but I have to say that somebody went really over. So it is a kind of head that is not a proper Chihuahua head. So they try to really reduce the muscle. So, but in a way, in a bad way. So you can see even wrinkles in the muscle, and the muscle that has to finish like a little bit pointed is totally square. It's like it looks like some Molosso breed type in.
Yeah.
So this is, but I think, as I said before, nowadays we have to be focused in the fronts and try to correct
the
this
fronts.
part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me ask you, because now obviously there are a lot of Chihuahua people watching, and we have like 240 comments already. So I want just to catch on a few other questions that we have, and then we will ask more. Andrew Brace is saying, we see some long coats winning that have big fluffy open coats. Please ask Francesco to explain for other judges the correct texture and characteristics of the true long coated?
Yes, it has been it the there are this fluffy coat and this kind of coat that looks like spitz, which is really very rough, and this is totally wrong because the characteristic of the breed should be that the coat should go down like this, and it is really very similar to the silk, the quality of the coat. And how you can say that? You can say that, for example, the long coat should have these typical fringes behind the ears, and that is kind of you can see there really from there the quality of the coat and this culotte. This how you call, I don't know in English. But the coat is a very important part of the breed, and there is not really serious penalization when you find wrong
Bad
coat
coat.
exitor, and even if the standard give the disqualification for it. So we have to remember, of course, it's not like a silk, it's not a Maltese, it's not a Yorkie, but the has to be really on the way of silk, the coat.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's undercoat, but not too much, like you can see in a Pomerania.
Yeah, yeah. Christina Seven is saying maybe it's important to say how long Chihuahua bite is moving.
How long?
Chihuahua bite is moving.
It can move really. You can have sometimes perfect bite when the puppies are 8 weeks, and then it comes at 9, 10 weeks. It can come undershot, and then it can go back to scissor or level bite when they are even 12 months. So it can move until they finish to grow, and this can happen, especially, okay, of course you have to know your own line, because everybody can have a different way to do, but it really can move from 9, 10 weeks until 1 year.
Okay. We have also a question from Martina Valkovic, but I'm going to ask you about that later on. I want to continue now with my questions, because otherwise this is going to be the longest interview in the history of Talking Dogs, because there are so many people asking so many questions that I try to catch on all of that. I want to ask you, is there a difference in type between the smooths and the long coateds, and is there a difference in the temperament?
In temperament, I have to say yes, Ante, because long coat are a little bit more sweet and a bit more soft. In type, no, the type has to be exactly the same. If you if you have a long coat in front of you, you should close your eyes and imagine it totally shaved, and you have to have in your eyes the picture of a good smooth coat. So it means that really the smooth coat shapes must look exactly like the long coat shape must look exactly like a smooth coat.
Smooth,
So
yeah.
no difference. And this is why also it is of course correct to breed the two varieties together, because it is the same breed. But
Yeah.
what I find that the smooth coat are a bit more strong in character.
Okay. I want to ask you, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I really didn't want to go to investigate, because I knew that I'm talking to you, so you will tell if I'm wrong or if I'm right. If I'm correct, at some point or for a long time, it was completely okay for the Chihuahua to have this open fontanelle, but
Yes.
now it is a fault. So tell me your opinion about that, and
well, it is not only my opinion, but it is opinion of the specialist. I mean, of the vets, and of that it is. I think it was really something. It is a characteristic of the breed since the breed was discovered in this world. This fontanella, open fontanella. And from one day to another day, they decide to put the open fontanella in the standard as a disqualifying fault. Okay, I agree if this is a big fontanella, or if the fontanella is off, if you find the head open also on the sides, because it can happen, that is very dangerous. But a really small fontanella, like 3 millimeter, I think doesn't affect any health to the breed. So I really don't know. And Fontanella, some of my colleagues, unfortunately, probably they don't know. They are going through and pushing with finger on the skull, since they are judging puppies or juniors, which is totally wrong, because the fontanella can be closed when the dog is 15 months. So don't, if somebody of you is listening me, my dear colleagues, don't check fontanella until the puppy is not, until the dog is not in intermediate or open class, because fontanella
it can change. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And yes, I think it is really I probably, I think they should have put some step in between. I mean, when they modified the standard, they could have said give a limit, regarding the fontana, the molera, but they didn't. And it was a lot of discussion, and it has been in the beginning a mess, because many dogs, beautiful dogs, were disqualifying. Okay, when we judge and when we breed, we must
It's different story.
always use the good sense.
Yes.
So it is not only teeth, it is not only fontanella, it is not only that, it is a full package that we have to evaluate when we judge, and we have to evaluate when we breed, because we can't take everything in the garbage, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
real.
I agree. Suzanne is asking you, what is the perfect size of Chihuahua in your opinion?
2.5 to 7, because of many things. Because I think smaller is the size, and more are common the problem that are common in small breeds, like for example patella luxation. They are less strong, and many other things
Yeah.
that are
Well, when
in.
we are talking now about patellas and about fontanella and all these things, are the Chihuahuas in general a healthy breed?
It is absolutely healthy breed. Of course, like toys, they can have patella, but also there, I think we should use again the good sense and don't be too hysterical, because patellas different grades. So there are if patella is grade 1, this is not a big fault, and then we have always to remember that it's not only genetic issue, but it is also something related with how the dog is growing, how where the dog is living. So it is also some other issue that we should consider when we are. So I think try to use your good sense when, again, I want to say, when we breed, and of course when we judge.
Yeah. And let me ask you then my last question about Chihuahuas for tonight. I want to ask you, if you would get an opportunity to change something in the breed standard, would you change something?
Well, there is really, because I have wrote, they talk in the standard. Well, I could put something about this Fontanella. I should put that Fontanella. I should explain better that Fontanella should be checked when the dog is in adult class, and really 0203 is still accepted. Millimeter is a really small Fontanella is acceptable. And then I saw it is something they wrote in the standard about nose, not muzzle, nose. Nose in a Chihuahua is quite short. For me, it doesn't mean anything. So I don't really understand. I was seeing it in the Italian version, and I said, okay, there is probably some mistake in translation. But then I went to the English version, and it is also the same thing. So, okay, I think this is what I have noticed that I would like to change.
Yeah.
And we should really better describe this Fontanella, because it is a big problem.
Yeah. A lot of people were writing comments about that, so obviously they agree with you about it, and you will be able to read it once when we finish. Let me just ask two more questions from the viewers. Kai Amelie is saying maybe Francesco wants to say something about the pigmentation.
Yeah, well, it is not really something that you can be strict in Chihuahuas, because it is allowed to breed all colors except mares. So of course, if there is some dilute color like chocolate or other blue or some other color cream, then of course it can carry a gene with light pigment. So of course we like it. Is nice to see a nice dark pigmentation, but this is not a priority, and it's not a fault. You never know. You have a cream Chihuahua that is a chocolate cream. So even in genetic, it can carry this black pigment with that color.
And let a lot of people are saying that this can't be the last question about Chihuahuas, but there are a few other things I want to talk about with Francesco, and we are talking already for 1 hour and a half. So this will be, for the moment, really the last question about Chihuahuas. Marilyn is asking you, what about so many red tails?
Red?
Yes. I don't know what exactly she means, but
red, she means I don't know what she means,
but let's touch the tails, because that's, I think, something.
Yeah, probably. I don't think we have so many. It was in the past so many really fine, so a small tail, but not anymore. It was even now it is not described anymore in the standard about this flat tail that was a characteristic of the breed in the previous standards. But probably she's referring to the smooth coat. It was probably 25 years ago you could find this really tail that was almost
yeah.
Like
okay, and now this is really the last questions from the viewers, because otherwise we will never finish. Samuel Carlin is asking or saying, many breeders in all breeds perform an increasing amount of health checks. What's your take on that, and how important are vet checks compared to breed type and construction for you when selecting breeding material?
Yes. Oh my God. This is something that I really think is totally right. That in some countries, somebody somebody came hysterical with checks, and they are really checking for everything. Even as humans, we don't check like we
So
check
many
it.
things. Yeah.
And people forget that there are three things that must always go together. It is type, health, and temperament. And these three things, they can be separated. I mean, if you do only check health, check, you will lose temperament, you will lose type. And this is happening in some of these countries. I mean that we all know that in each breed there are kind of genetical illness that we all know. So I mean, if we check in, for example, in Chihuahuas, the patella and the eyes and the heart, this is totally enough. But now there are somebody that are coming to say that a syringomelia is a kind of illness of the breed, so they are checking for that, and then they are checking for knees, then they are checking for everything. So stop to be stupid and to forget and to lose, to throw away the gene pool that we have tried to establish in so many years, not only of course us, but many other people before us, and to preserve the breed, because the breed is healthy, is an healthy breed when you have checked the most important things. This is enough.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do just the last Chihuahua thing for tonight. Bring Tula in front of the camera.
Yeah, no.
Is she with the good makeup and the hair or not?
But
Okay. Otherwise, I would like to hear just her last opinion on the breed. But okay, if she's not ready, prepared, then I will invite her to be my guest, and then we can continue, because obviously, trust me, there are so many questions coming about Chihuahuas.
I can imagine. Yes.
Okay. Let's go now, Francesco, to the quick questions. To break a little bit the interview in another part now. Also, I want to say I see that my Instagram is clicking all the time. Thank you for all of you who are making photos of the screen and putting it in your Instagram stories and tagging me. Please continue to do so. I always love after the interview to share these stories, and I'm sure also Francesco will appreciate to see how many people were watching it. Let's do this. Which show you consider to be, for the moment, the highlight of your career?
Now you started with this kind of question, but I don't know. I really don't know, Ante, because it is not for me. Sometimes I say that okay, you can find a beautiful dog even in a small show, and for me to give an impression, to give an answer, you there are many facts that you should consider.
Okay, but one show that you have judged and you will never forget, something that was amazing experience for you.
Well, I can say that, for example, first time I was in Split, it was really something different. So, but you know me, not
yeah, of course, yeah.
Me, I say that, but I can
but
say.
It's always nice to hear.
I can say Split, Ante.
That's always nice to hear. Thank you, Francesco.
I think it is something special where this atmosphere, and this is what we should see nowadays, because when we are going in the show and then you see people with knife in
yes.
out, that doesn't happen in Split.
Yeah. Thanks God that it doesn't happen. Yes. Okay, tell me, Francesco, favorite Chihuahua of all times, not bred or owned by you?
Bramerita, naughty but nice, bred by Sheldon Horby. She has been, I think.
Was it a smooth or long?
Long coat, and I think she has the most winning CC in all breeds in England.
Okay, wonderful. And maybe one smooth.
Let me think. Dashida's Master Angel, also bred in England.
Okay.
I really like him.
The best dog you ever bred?
Well, if I have to talk about but I consider Tulas also with the same. I think Misty Meadows, Orlando Furioso, Luca.
Javier had a face like this, waiting to see what you will answer, but he's happy with the answer.
Yeah.
The favorite to win with your own dogs?
Well, it has been, I think, for sure the group that Orlandino di San Gimignano got at the European Dog Show in Brussels. Yeah.
One breed that you never had at home and you would like to have?
Well, Boxer, but I can say the other one is American Cocker.
Oh my God! Do you know how much care about coat it is?
No, that is why I didn't. I never got it, but I love the breed.
Yeah, me too. Dog person not alive anymore that you miss the most?
Carlos. I really terribly miss him because we were doing a long chat during in the night. He was really also going to bed very, very, very late. And then we were judging quite often together. I miss him so much.
Yeah, Carlo was a lot of people, as you know, because you watch the interviews regularly. A lot of people mention Carlos, and I think that has been such a huge loss for the dog world. But okay, we must be happy the ones who have had the opportunity to meet him.
Yes.
One breeder that always impressed you with the quality of his dogs, one from Italy and one from the rest of the world.
Well, in Italy, I have to say we have many good breeds, really, really many in many different groups. We have, I have to say that for sure, Cinecittà Kennel is one of the top breeders in Italy that has constantly done very, very, very good job. But I repeat, we have really in many breeds, in Sighthounds, in Dachshunds. So we have some good breeders in Italy.
Yes. And what about somebody from the rest of the world that always impresses you with his dogs?
There are also out many. Well, because we were talking about American Cockers, I can mention Very Vigie. It is Laurent Pichard, the owner of the kennel, and Sanna now, because she has now been part. I think they have bred always a really beautiful dog.
Quality, yeah. Tell me, Francesco, if there would be a World Dog Show in Italy again, and you would not be judging, but you would be showing, under which Italian judge you would like to win Best in Show?
Claudio De Giuliani.
Under Claudio. Okay. And tell me, if you would have, let's say, 3 or 4 litters of beautiful puppies at home, and you would need to invite 3 judges from all around the world to help you to choose the puppies, which 3 judges would you invite to help you?
Again, Claudio, one is him. Then I could invite Annika Hultvedt Moore from Sweden. And I think because of I respect him as a breeder, Graham Foote from England.
Okay, wonderful. Anyhow, you have also answer in the comments from Stefano Paolo Antoni, who is saying, thank you, Francesco. It's a big honor for us. Let me continue with this. If you would need to thank 5 people in your life for your success in dogs, who would you thank?
For sure, my father and my mother, because they have they gave me this opportunity to be my mentor, Tina Violi Busoni, an all-rounded judge, who has been really my mentor, especially she was the one to push me to become a judge. I was quite young. Then I have to say my wife, because she has mm, she has taken with her this strictness of the Finnish people. They are very serious in what they do. It's a really particular population, because if you don't know them, you think they are cold. They are not. They don't talk just to talk. They talk when they must talk. And Claudio, because Claudio is for me my best friend in the dog world. I really, for me, is like my big brother, and he was the one who pushed me to be an all-rounder judge.
Wonderful. Tell me one dog that you have judged and that has made a huge impression on you that you will never forget, of any breed.
Well, many. I, well, I don't know. It is not. It is not an easy answer, but
I
really,
know.
if I could say many, but let me think. Just I don't know. Well, I think really this Afghan that I have judged that was my best in show in Melbourne was impressing me a lot. And even, Ante, because I'm not a sight hound person, so I could, of course, when you judge best in show, then it's much more easy. Don't risk too much and put up the breeds that you really feel so sure 100%, but I did it.
Okay.
And, so it was, for my eyes, one amazing dog.
Okay. Claudio Giuliani is writing to you. Thank you, brother. And then just a quick question from Silver Sea Weimaraner, who is saying, watching from Western Canada, if you judge a show in Canada or USA, would you be okay judging gun dogs with dog tails? I think, of course, yes, because also in Europe they can have dog tails without any problems.
Yes.
Okay. If you were offered to judge 3 national specialties in the USA in the breeds of your choice, what would they be?
Poodles, Chihuahuas, and the third breed, I think, lets me think, I think English pointers.
Okay, wonderful. Is there a young person that you recently met in the dog world and that you think could have a great future in the dogs?
There are many, luckily. There are really many young person. If I have to say that I really saw him when he was a child, Joe Bellis he has a lot of talent, and he has the right attitude, and so he has really this good touch and good feeling, good approach with dogs, and I think he will have a brilliant future. Also as a judge.
Yeah, he is watching the interview, so I'm sure he will be very honored to hear your answer. And then the last one of the quick questions is going to decide whether you are going to have a nice evening tonight after the interview or not, because I know that Tula now speaks very good Italian. Yeah. So now let me see if you can say in Finnish, let's say, my name is Francesco Cochetti, and me and my wife Tula breed Chihuahuas.
I can't. So you should have prepared me. I will after, because you should have said this to
me. You know that I never sent the questions in advance.
Yes, I know, but I could have been this, beautiful, and then people could be really without words to listen my good Finnish, but yes. So I can't say anything.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, Let's talk, Francesco, now a little bit about breathing. I want to ask you, first of all, do you breed all the breeds in the same way? Or you have, for example, different strategies when you breed Chihuahuas and when you breed Jack Russells and when you breed Pointers?
Well, I think that the way should be the same if there is the possibility, because of course it is possible to breed in line breeding with Chihuahuas, because we have generation and generation of our breeding. Then okay, I lost a bit, like some years, and I lost a lot of my material with poodles. So with poodles is not so easy, and then also with pointers is not so easy. But when we are going anyway to find a male to breed, even for the other breeds, we are trying to find something that is in line breeding.
Yes, and tell me, in general, when you are breeding, what is your strategy? Do you do a lot of line breeding? How often do you do the outcross? What is your? How do you feel about it?
Of course, it is in general line breeding until, of course, it is really not too close. I mean, so we try to avoid the inbreeding. I mean, a brother and sister, or a father and daughter, or mother and son. We try to avoid this. And of course, it's not only the line breeding that we are looking for, but also we trying to cover faults that, for example, if we are breeding a female, then we know she has this fault, so we are trying also to cover the faults of the female, and don't double fault with
double the fault. Yeah. Tell me, how easy or how difficult are Chihuahuas to breed?
Very difficult, I have to say, because I have had this luck to be in poodles before, and I have to say that it is quite difficult. Chihuahua is a small breed, and I think the smallest and more difficult to breed. And Chihuahua, you have to, for example, they have quite short muscles, so to keep this scissor or level bite is not so easy, and so mouth faults are really the most common fault. It is not easy, and then of course they have quite big head comparing with the body, so they are not so easy whelp. So even if they have natural whelps, they need all the time some help, and it is not an easy breed.
Yeah. Tell me, how and at what age do you choose the show puppies? The puppies that maybe you will keep for yourself or sell for a show home.
We are looking puppies when they are 8 weeks. Then we choose. Then we close our eyes and we open eyes again when the puppies are 9 months, not before, because then they are how you say in Italy we say the no carne non pesce, no fish, not meat.
Yeah.
So not really. They lose the body proportions. So they can be Igon legs, or they can be front higher than back. So they can do whatever they do. But usually, in our experience, what I can say, when they are like that at 8 weeks, then you get them back when they are adult.
Yeah. Tell me, is there something in your lines that you would like to improve?
Yes. I think everybody can improve something. I don't know if I have to say. I don't know. Okay, of course we sometimes probably we could have I don't know. dogs that are really a little bit more compact, but in a way I can say that then it is easy to lose this drive and reach in movement. So I have to say that we are quite up in with what we have, but of course every now and then we need also to put a new blood, and this is the most difficult part because you never know what is going to be okay to match.
Yeah, of course. It's a lot of luck also, yes.
It is luck. It is
Yeah.
absolutely also luck.
Okay, and then one question I don't know. I think I know the answer, but let me ask for the other people. How often you and Tula agree or disagree about, let's say, the best puppy in the litter?
We agree some 50-50. I have to
Okay.
say. Maybe sometimes yeah, we can decide, we can have two different opinions, but then in that case we keep both the puppies. And then okay, Tula said she win. It's not like always like this, but of course she has a good eye. I have to admit it.
Yeah, no doubts about that. Tell me, Francesco, when we talk about judging, what do you like the best about judging and what you hate the most about judging?
What I like the best is okay. It is when your skin come up and you find that you have this kind of emotion, this kind of oh. I hope tomorrow to find this star in my ring, and it happens. I have to say, is some for me, and then you are happy when you find, even if you are judging underdogs, and then you find the one extra super nice, then you are happy. What I hate most it is when I have to put to lose uh, dogs that are handled by children. This is for me so difficult. I have to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. We have three interesting comments or questions. First one from Maria Luisa Doppelreiter, who says they always agree on the opinion of Tula. So I don't know if that is true or not. Then Tal Yafe is saying, ask him about how often does he and Sarah agree or disagree.
No, Sarah is even worse than Tula because she doesn't want to listen. So Sarah is really, quite so sure of herself that she can do a really
what she wants.
Exactly. So
Okay.
much more easy to find an agreement with Tula than Sarah.
Okay. And then you have a nice comment that I'm suppose you will be happy to hear from Joe Bayliss. He's saying, I'm very touched about Francesco's words. I'm lucky to have the Cochetti family support. They inspire me a lot and I respect them a lot. Thanks to let every Chihuahua enthusiast to be a part of your story. We are lucky to have true and devoted people like you for the Chihuahua breed.
Thank you.
That was nice from Joe. I want to ask you two questions. How difficult is to judge the dogs shown by somebody that is a good friend of yours? And how difficult is to judge your own breed on big shows?
Okay, first question. I think that because you have to really look into yourself, then when you have friend inside the rings, and that happens because we can't deny this, you are probably pretending more. And so it is in a way can be dangerous because I I can penalize them probably because we are humans, and sometimes maybe we are afraid to other people that can talk because in they talk.
Of course,
If they win, they talk.
that's a human nature.
if they lost, they talk even more because they say you see even his friends put. So this is, but in my opinion, it is I pretend for friends more than for normal people. And what was the other question?
The other question was: is it difficult to judge your own breed at the big shows?
No, it is not. But of course, it is a little bit that, of course, you know all the other breeders because they are. I'm not only a judge. I'm a breeder, and of course I know everybody, and so it is not so difficult. But of course,
More challenging.
the only thing it is that you can think, okay, maybe I will lose friendship, but I always say that it is, if it is real friendship, then friendship stay.
Yes, I must say that this is one of the things that I always repeat to myself, and obviously it is for all of us sometimes difficult to lose when somebody that you consider to be a friend is judging. But I always remember when I was a young boy, 17, 18 years old, I had a dinner with Rainer Vuorinen, and he said to me, it's very easy because he said, friends are friends, business is business. So if we all manage to understand that, obviously it makes the life much easier. I want to ask you, Francesco.
We must understand it. Sorry, Anta, interrupt you, but
No
I think
problem.
especially when you are a breeder and judge, that
Yes.
you must, otherwise
Of
impossible.
course.
Yeah.
Tell me, Francesco, are there one or more breeds that are still your favorite breeds to judge? And are there still some breeds that, for example, if you are judging a big entry, you need to prepare yourself especially for that?
Well, of course, but I think we all need to prepare ourselves very well when we judge whatever breed. I myself, I think I don't read standards. I have to be honest, in group 9 and most in group 3, because these are the two groups that are more close to me. But if I judge some other breeds, of course, I go through the standard even the night before to judge. And of course, there are some breeds that are less common than others that are really putting me a little bit in difficulties.
And which tell us one or two breeds that you
Well,
find difficult to judge.
Well, I think I don't know. I think there are breeds in Group 6 that kind of segugio that you don't find
Often, yes.
often, that are not really my favorite breeds. And then I don't know. There are some breeds probably in Group 2, in Group 8 that are not common, Coironde or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
find.
That you don't see them often, yes.
Did it in Finland. I remember I had the 40, 45 in the breed. I really, the night before, I had a kind of nightmare, but of course, so I was looking everything. But you know, this is a very good exercise. If you are a serious person, then it is the best time to learn. And I think then if you are able to do a good job, you are really very proud of yourself.
Of
This
course.
is a big challenge.
Yes, yes. Tell me, Francesco, what would be your advice for someone young who wants to start with dogs and become a successful breeder or exhibitor or a judge?
I think the people must listening the experienced breeders, and especially for me, they must have this kind of mentor, which is very important to have, and the kind of guide. And then you have to be humble and don't be full of yourself. And even if you if you think it is wrong, then you try to ask in nice way more other question, and to try to understand why this person is saying something different than you. I think that nowadays uh, it's the people are a bit sometimes too much, they know everything, but I think everything must be done in short step, and all of us can learn every day. I can learn, of course, I learn every day from others, and this must be the spirit when we go. And then, okay, passion is a very important ingredient in this dog world. Without passion you can't do anything.
Absolutely. Tell me, Francesco, and this will be the last question of the interview tonight. We have been speaking already for 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm sure that you will be happy once when we finish to go over, for the moment, 343 comments, which is absolutely, I think, a record in my show, and see all the nice things that people were asking. You are well aware of all the things that are happening in the world in different countries, problem with these animal activists, problems with breeding, brachy breeds, collars, chains, leashes, puppy pens, ironing, dryers, whatever. How do you see the future of the sport? Are you optimistic or are you pessimistic? And what do you think we need to do?
I have to be optimistic, and I think we all must be optimistic. I know that this is a kind of strange time with activists that they are trying to, but I think we need to be units. This is very important, to be all together, because if we are all together, we can win. We should stop to be selfish, even between breeders, I think, because we need each other's always. And I think we should try to find this kind of commune, because we are a big community. Dog people are a really big community. Let's do something good in the community all together. I think this is what we can do, and we could. Of course, I said I'm so fed up of this time, because I never end. Of course, we that, but okay, but sometimes we must use also this time in a positive way, and try to look inside all of us, and try to be better people when we will be out again, and try don't to stop these stupid fights, and I don't know, of course we are not angels, because we will be no humans, but okay, we take the strength to be a better people, because I think our life is nothing. You see what happened just in one moment when it started. I remember this pandemic in China. It was like, ha ha ha, it's China. It will never arrive here in Europe, and now we are in a deep shit.
Yes, we
So
are.
I don't know what can happen. We should try to give to ourselves and to other people the best of ourselves, because life can be even very short sometimes. So
Yes,
let be good, and
yes.
try to do the best you
Yeah,
can.
I absolutely agree with you. Um, First of all, Francesco, I want to thank you for accepting my invitation. I know you were a little bit nervous, and you were thinking, are there going to be enough people and everything? I think that you can be more than happy with all the nice comments that you got, and especially with I say 300, more than 350 comments in 2 hours that we were talking. I want to thank also to Monge for sponsoring the show. I want to thank to all of you who were watching it. I want to thank to all of you who are watching it Wednesday after Wednesday, and to all of you who have tagged me in your stories on Instagram. I saw that there has been a lot of you. For that, I want to say that next Wednesday we are going to have another amazing breeder, and that's Michael Gadsby from Afterglow Kennels, which is absolutely one of the best kennels in the world also. So I'm sure that it's going to be very interesting. For the end of the interview, I can say to you, Francesco, you will read them all later on, but people are saying, Samuel is saying very wise words. Rosa is saying, thank you, great interview. Chantal van Ramsdonk is saying, thank you so much, Francesco and Ante, for this great interview. Suzanne is saying, more than well done with this interview. Ante, thank you so much, Ante and Francesco. Meg is saying, thank you, Ante and Francesco, for this interview. It has been really a nice evening. Gunvor is saying, thank you both. Wise questions, wise answers. Gerda is saying, thank you so much, Mr. Cochetti and Ante, for your time, this great interview, and making this time of no shows a bit easier for us dog fanciers. Amanda is saying, thank you so much for this frank and honest interview, wise words. You will see there are a lot of nice comments, and obviously now, as always, when we are finishing, they keep on coming and coming and coming, and I will not be able to read them, but I'm sure that until we finish it, we are going to come to 400 comments, because we are on 394 now. And I really hope, Francesco, that you will have some time tomorrow and you will be able to read all these comments, and thank also from your side to all the people who have write nice words. We have all learned something tonight, and we have enjoyed this time at home with our doggy family from all around the world. And it has been really a great pleasure to have you here. I leave the last words for tonight to you, something that you want to say to your friends and everybody who was watching this from all around the world.
Well, Ant, I think you have said enough, and what I can add, I think that we are in a big shit, like I said, but we must think positive, because if we must go out from this terrible tunnel that is quite long, and in that case, I'm sure that we will be out in better, with better heart, and this time it will remain like a nightmare, and I think it will be wonderful to hug each other. So it will be
again.
It will be not done like because we need to do. It will be done with big heart, and I'm waiting this day. So thank you. To give me this opportunity to talk with you and with part of my life that are the dog people. I hope to see you soon all, and take care, stay safe, and never forget to say thank you to our dogs that are the reason because we are here in this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Francesco. Wonderful closing of this interview with 420 comments. Thank you, everybody who have been watching all the time with us. Thank you all for putting your comments, and see you next Wednesday. Good night, stay safe, and we all hope to see you soon somewhere. Bye-bye.
The pet food company Monge is increasingly investing in including components considered superfood in both dry and wet food formulation for our pets. Superfoods are ingredients that are particularly rich in specific nutrients, such as omega-3, plant fibers, and antioxidants. Superfoods which are rich in essential fatty acids include salmon oil and flax seeds. Salmon oil is rich in EPA and DHA with multiple metabolic properties. In fact, they can be directly assimilated by the animal's organism through the phospholipid membranes that make up the skin, promoting a shiny and soft coat. Flax seeds, on the other hand, are rich in alpha-linolenic acid from which the animal can obtain omega-3, EPA, and DHA, again supporting the integrity of the skin. Superfoods which are sources of plant fibers include pumpkin and oats. Pumpkin is a vegetable that is rich in soluble and insoluble fiber, promoting intestinal regularity, and thanks to its orange pigmentation, is rich with high amounts of beta-carotene, while oats, one of the cereals richest in proteins, up to 17%, fibers and fat, also contain a high amount of potassium and B vitamins to support the immune system. Superfoods that are rich in antioxidants include ginseng, blueberry, and spirulina. The antioxidant effect carried out by this food is particularly important in counteracting the negative effect of the free radicals on the organism of the animals. Ginseng is a root that is rich in vitamins and polysaccharides such as paraxan, which are considered useful nutrients for the daily vitality. Blueberry are berries which are particularly rich in anthocyanidins, powerful antioxidants that support the immune system. Spirulina is rich in carotene, vitamins B12, antioxidant pigments, omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid. In addition, its proteins are of high biological value, containing all of the essential amino acids for our animals.